Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Crawley Town are part of company with manager Rob Elliot. Unfortunately, it was bound to happen. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. Share below your thoughts as well. So Crawley Town, of course, in the relegation zone in League One. Unfortunately, it was bound to happen. Let me give you some stats heading into this news that came out last night. 1 win in 8, 2 wins in 11, 6 wins in 33 matches in charge. And 19 defeats, by the way, as well. Um, so Rob Elliot has left. The club are parted company with the manager. 12 points adrift of safety in the league. He took over back in October when Scott Lindsay took the MK Dons job. That went well. And the club are currently 22nd in the league, with relegation looming in their first season back in League One. So Lewis Story is expected to step up as interim head coach, with Anthony Sweeney as interim assistant. I don't know if that's going to be for the whole season as of yet. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't go against them probably doing that, because I don't think Crawley can save the season personally. I think they're down. I think that Shrewsbury are down. I think Cambridge are down. I think Crawley are down for definite. The last relegation place, don't know yet. They face Bristol Rovers on Saturday. It's their first match without Rob Elliot in charge since October. And yeah, the prospects aren't looking good for Crawley. This season's not looking good for him. I'm not trying to be a downer for the sake of being a downer, but I think Crawley's season's done regardless. I think that the style of play just hasn't been integrated at all. I think that there's been a real loss of momentum. I think the squad's just not been together this season. I think that Crawley have looked a bit of a mess at times. It's just not been good. It's not been good enough. By anyone's standards, it hasn't been good enough. And yeah, Crawley were always going to struggle this season. They're probably the lowest ranked or one of the lowest ranked squads in the league come the start of the season back in the summer. Um, However, I do feel as if they just haven't been with it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happened. I just feel like they haven't been with it. Now, do I think it's all on Rob Elliot? Not exactly. The players have to take responsibility, because once you cross the white line, you deliver your performance on the pitch. Do I think they've been good enough over the whole season? No. Do I think the manager's been good overall over the season? No. Do I think they'll get relegated? Absolutely. But what's next for Crawley? And that's the big question I think the fans are asking now. What is next for Crawley Town? And you look at who could be available. I put the tweets out. I know a lot of other people have put tweets out about who is next to be Crawley Town manager or head coach, because they could go down either route. You've got one or two options here with Crawley. You go down the project route, or you go down the experienced, know how to get it done route. When you look at the managers, first of all, the project route, the managers that don't have a lot of experience, that need a bit more guidance, that need this kind of opportunity to really prove themselves and get their foot under the ground in EFL management. Because at that level, you can kind of get away with that to an extent, but only to a certain extent. I mean, we tried that with Gary McSheffrey, with Danny Schofield, and I'll touch base on it a little bit from my experience and from our experience. First of all, Gary McSheffrey, love the guy personally. Got results, but didn't have a style of play, and that was the reason why he got sacked. Danny Schofield, I think the style of play came through once in one game against Grimsby Town, and that was it. The rest of them were just didn't happen. And I think part of it was down to his availability of the squad, but part of it, the tactics were just dire. I'm glad to see Danny Schofield doing well in Australia. I'm glad to see McSheffrey doing well at Sheffield United in the academy, I believe it is. So I think it's the first team. So they've moved on and found better opportunities, but the project route doesn't always work. But then you look at other clubs that have gone down the project route with the inexperience, and for some clubs it has worked, whether that's in professional football, the pro leagues, or non-league football. Look at Scunthorpe with Andy Butler, again another former caretaker Doncaster Rovers manager. Didn't do great in his caretaker spell. Took us from playoffs to 14th when Darren Moore left for Sheffield Wednesday that year in February, around February, March time. And now he's at Scunthorpe, and they could be on for a league title this year. So, again, it either works or it doesn't. And if you're going to pick someone out that's going to go down the project route for Crawley to try and get them back into the League One long term, because I think they're going down this year anyway, you'd be looking at someone like, and it's a name that people have talked about for a while now, Andrew Crofts. Obviously, currently at Brighton and has coached in the academy, managed in the academy. He's someone who's a former Brighton player. He's around the area. In terms of his playing career, I think he's most known for Brighton, so he's around that kind of area. So it wouldn't be a massive geographical jump for Crofts to go to somewhere like Crawley. I think that would be a good project for him. Again, buzzword project. But for me, if you want to really, go for it as quick as possible, in my opinion, you go down the experience route, and there's plenty of managers out there who are along the experience route. John Brady, ex Northampton, Steve Cottrell, Darrell Clark, Paul Simpson. Someone commented on my tweet saying Ian Evatt. I do like that as a suggestion. I think Ian Evatt would be the ambitious one. Now, it didn't go right in the end for Bolton with Ian Evatt. But one thing you can't deny is he did build a strong squad eventually. It just didn't end up right. So, yeah, it didn't go right for him this season, but I think that Ian Evatt would be a fantastic appointment for Crawley Town for that level. 100% definitely. I think Paul Simpson's got a lot of experience. Yeah, again, didn't go right at Carlisle. But, I mean, there's plenty of problems at Carlisle, so I don't think Paul Simpson was the only one. Darrell Clark, I think that obviously, again, didn't go right with Barnsley. But for me personally, I would say that Darrell Clark still has the experience of getting it done. Steve Cottrell, again, another experienced manager who can do the business. And then you've got John Brady again at Northampton, who built a very strong squad. So I think any of them, Evatt, Brady, Cottrell, Clark, Simpson, Crofts, Evatt, they'd all be fantastic appointments. So you've got plenty of names to choose from. But the direction now for Crawley is, do they bring in one of those names now, see out the rest of the season, and then build again in the summer? Or do they just go interim to the rest of the season and then start again fresh in the summer? I think they go interim for the rest of the season because I think Crawley are going down regardless. So I think it's best to just leave the interims in charge for the last, 6 to 8 games, and then bring in that new face in the summer, clean, fresh eyes, and just look at the situation and go, right, what do we do in the summer? Who do we get out? Who do we bring in? What do we do to challenge as quickly as possible to get back into League One next season? That should be the plan here for Crawley. And it should be interesting to see what the direction goes. But let me know in the comments down below, who do you think should be appointed as the next manager or head coach? If you want me to give you a name now, I go with either Evatt or I go with Simpson. I don't think Crofts takes the job now. I think that it's way too soon for me. I go Simpson or I go Evatt. But let me know. And thank you very much. And I'll see you all in the next video. Ta-ra for now.